Just BG dollars back on today. We got the inflation results, the CPI results, and it was dreadful. It was terrible. It was terrible. 9.1%. 9.1%. You know, please just take that in for a minute. And whilst you're doing so, hit the subscribe button, of course, because we are on the road to getting 100 subscribers by the end of the year. But no, once you have digested the 9.1 percentage, first of all, I want to say the world is going to shit. All right, because it isn't just US, is it? It's everywhere. I mean, if we take up the UK CPI is also at 9.1%, but that was for May. We still got to get June results for the UK, and that is going to be dreadful. I think that comes out around July the 22nd. But of course, we are focusing on the US. We are investing in the US markets. We are looking at the US economy. We're looking at the Fed. So we're not really too interested in the UK's economy in terms of, you know, investments. Of course, I will be getting onto my risk on investments, but first of all, we're going to look through the CPI report because that is probably the most important thing that happened today. And inflation jumped again in June on a persistent climb in gas, food, and rent costs. Now, the thing is, right, that I find confusing, I'm just going to take you over to the oil chart quickly. Right, now put in the comments whether you agree or disagree with this statement, because I've generally thought, right, so this is July the 1st, where are my mouses? Right now, you see the clicking? Boom. Yeah, the prices come up, we tanked mid-June. We had a slow little brief comeback, boom, we dropped towards the end. There we are, look. We ended the month at $105. From this square to this square, you can see the price action, you can see the sort of pricing for oil. This is what you want to be looking at for June. Now, this is the month of May. Boom, we started down here. Okay, so yes, quite a bit lower than we started in June. Boom, we came up, we tanked a bit, we came up, boom, boom. In the end, for the month of May, we finished here. So this is the price target for the month of May. Now, put in the comments, what do you think the average higher cost was for oil? This sort of square here for June, or this sort of square here for May? Because I thought, seeing this big sort of drop off here, and we had like literally 2 weeks around this sort of area, it was the price was lower in June for the average oil in terms of crude oil here chart. But it doesn't seem like that in the inflation report. So that's another thing that sort of pissed me off, to be honest with you. Because, of course, my bet was on inflation coming out lower. That's my prediction. And I was saying that on the channel. And, of course, I was wrong. You know, I've got to hold my hands up. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, not all economists are going to be right 100% of the time. And it's a shame. But that's how it is. Of course, most economists expected 8.8%. No one really expected 9.1%, which was quite a huge number for us to get. Let's carry on going through this report. Price increased 9.1% from year up earlier, up for an annual rate of 8.6%. Of course, the prior peak to this of inflation sort of rate, CPI rate, was 8.6%, and now we're at 9.1%. You know, are we looking at a double-digit sort of growth here in the CPI? If we get that, that would be absurd. You know, as I said, look, economics survey by Bloomberg estimated it to be 8.8%. Of course, they still had the right direction compared to me, but yeah, we like to make money in the stock market. All right, if we make money in the stock market, but we get our inflation prediction wrong, we still made money, and I'm still a happy man because that's what we want to do. We want to make some cash on this channel. A monthly basis, consumer price increased by 1.3%, the largest since 2005. So look, just a quick little note to everyone watching, right? We've still got people out there thinking that we're not heading for a recession. We've still got people out there thinking that the Fed's going to have a soft landing. Are you stupid or what? Are these people plonkers? 1.3%, largest since 2005, okay? 17 years, largest uprise month-on-month basis. Boom. 9.1%, largest in 40 years, since November 1981, all right? And people don't think we're heading for a recession. You've got to be stupid. Now, I'm going to have a look in the market, so we're not going to do stock market reaction because I'm going to do that. And it will be coming in just a moment. If you're still watching, please do subscribe. Hit the subscribe. You may as well hit the like as well because they're both next to each other, aren't they? So it's not much effort to do both of them. But anyway, yeah, we will be getting onto the stocks. We're going to be getting onto Roku, Shopify. We're going to be getting onto my positions, what I'm doing on the stock market. So please do carry on watching. But of course, CPI we've got to get cracking on. June's surge again was led by gasoline prices, which increased 11.2% from the prior month, 59.9% annually. And again, look, we got to the chart. Apparently, the month of June is 11.2% higher than the month of May in terms of crude oil prices, which is, I think, just stupid because I think the average in terms of the chart for June is lower than May. But there we are. You know, there we are. It is what it is, I suppose. Grocery prices rose by 1% from May and 12.2% over the past 12 months. 12.2% for food prices is actually ridiculous. Yeah, the world has lost the plot. Both gas and food costs have been largely elevated. Of course, the war in Ukraine, we haven't actually heard many updates, have we, from the Russia war in Ukraine? In terms of big news, obviously it's still ongoing, we all know that. But in terms of big standout moves from either Russia or Ukraine, you know, there's no sort of progress. Ukraine side, there's no sort of, you know, action from Russia. It's sort of just stalemate at the minute and they're just like battling it out. But of course, that's what I mean. We've still got Putin roaming about and who knows? He could just announce next week that he's blowing Ukraine up. So you can't really tell because Putin's a bit of a plonker. He's a bit absurd sometimes. So he just comes out with these stupid statements that, to be fair, I don't think Putin would actually blow anything up. But, you know, you never know with him. In June, cereal prices rose by 2.5%. So you may as well just stop buying cereals now. 2.5% from the prior month. 14.2% from a year ago. Look, chicken. Stop buying your chicken because it's increased by 1.5%. 17.3% year on year for your chicken. See, it's just stupid. Look, will food prices go down? Probably not, with the Russia-Ukraine situation still going on. If the Russia-Ukraine army stopped, then I would probably start thinking, yeah, food prices may come down. But there's no sort of signs of it stopping. Anyway, you can go through this report yourselves, actually. EU.USA today. All you've got to do is search up CPI rate and it will come straight up on your web browser, whatever you're using, Google. I mean, most people use Google now, don't they? Yeah. All right. Now we're going to go through the stocks. All right. And of course, if you are a recent watcher, you know that I've been watching Roku. I've been watching Shopify. I'm invested in Roku and Shopify and I've got my trend lines drawn. And this is a big move for me. So, inflation came out negative. Am I changing my stance? And am I going from risk on to risk off? Those are the questions we want answered in this video, and I'm going to do just that. From a technical analysis perspective, we failed to get above this trend line. Boom, we've sold off a bit. However, we had a nice green bullish bar here on the this is on the 4-hour chart. So we had a nice start to Roku, and we sort of sold off. But as long as we don't get below this black line, okay, that's when we're in trouble. If we get below this black line, I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? I'm moving it down just slightly. It's more like here. Now, if you can see me sweating out, it's bloody baking in the UK. It is actually ridiculous. I've never really known it this hot in here. But yeah, it's stupid. So I am sweating out a little bit. But anyway, we'll crack on. Yeah, that's my target for Roku. If it drops below this black line, I'll be selling out of it. I will have to take a small loss on that. In terms of Shopify, again, one of my big positions. Shopify, my risk on bets. Again, if we drop below this black line, I will be selling out. At the minute, we're still above it. So at the minute, I'm still holding it. Boom. Yeah, that is how it is. We have a look at the SPY, the quick S&P 500. Now, this one's actually very nerve-wracking because look how close we are to this line. And post-market, we've dropped below this trend line. And look, we dropped below at the start and we boosted back. We came back, we tested it as support. I thought we were going then. But boom, again, we've come back down. And post-market, we've dropped below the blue line. So that is very, very hit and miss. And we're going to have to see how tomorrow plays out in terms of my stock position. Of course, I'm going to keep you updated. If I do sell my stocks, if I do buy more, I'll be, of course, telling you guys straight away. So don't be scared of the stocks. You know, this is how the market moves. Of course, inflation's at 9.1%, highest in 40 years. We've got a 1.3% move or month over month, highest since 2005. Was it 1.3%? Yes, month over month, 1.3%. The S&P 500, very, very close to dropping below this trend line that I've drawn. That will be very nerve-wracking because then we could see potentially us going back to these sorts of lows and maybe even making a new low. We're going to have to see how tomorrow plays out, people. Hopefully we can make a bounce here. Hopefully we can stick to this trend line. Hopefully the markets are up. If they're not up, I'll be watching very, very closely market open and throughout the day. And yeah, if any news, any updates, I'll be sure to let you know. Please do subscribe because we're on the road to 100 subscribers. Hit the like button and you may as well give us a comment exactly on that oil chart. Obviously, I've changed it over to the SPY now, but you saw the oil chart earlier on in the video. Tell me if you thought June was higher than May in terms of the average oil price. This has been BG Dollars, and that was the CPI report, a dreadful report, 9.1%, a huge miss there on expectations, and nerve-wracking times for the US. That is all. BG Dollars over and out. I'll see you in the next one, probably tomorrow. It will be tomorrow. See you later.